Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video on this channel. In my last video we spoke about some of the organisms that swam the Earth's seas during the Cambrian Epoch. In today's video we are going to speak about the Ordovician period, a period which began around 488 million years ago and lasted around about 40 million years. The Ordovician period really sparked life on land as many primitive plants began to grow on land as well as within the oceans. Carbon isotope measurements from Ordovician soils suggest that atmospheric levels of carbon dioxide during this period were 14 to 16 times higher than today. These high levels were driven by widespread volcanic activity, which therefore would have released large volumes of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This meant that plants could flourish and therefore begin producing oxygen as a stepping stone for life forms to begin making the leap onto land. A unique period known as the Ordovician radiation unfolded over tens of millions of years and produced organisms that would dominate marine ecosystems for the remainder of the Paleozoic era. The Ordovician radiation was an extension of what was called the Cambrian Explosion. Now this was an event where which all modern marine organisms' ancestors appeared. The Ordovician continued this diversification at lower levels of taxonomy and saw a rapid increase in the amount of habitats and ecological niches exploited by living things, as well as an increase in the complexity of biological communities. In this video we go through some of the most successful creatures that developed during the Ordovician, so enjoy. Now the first creature we are going to speak about in this video is the Trilobite. Now Trilobites were arthropods like many invertebrate animals living today, including crustaceans, spiders and insects. Geologists know that they were marine animals because of the rocks in which they are found and other types of fossils associated with them. For support and protection from predators at the time, the soft part of the trilobite animal were covered by an exoskeleton. Now, trilobites had something called compound eyes, and this means that rather than having just one singular eye reception unit like humans do, they had hundreds and hundreds of tiny photoreception units that consisted of a lens and a cornea. And these photoreception units were very sensitive to images moving in and out. This gave the trilobites a huge advantage at the time, as having a primitive eye gave them not only predatorial advantage but also in terms of escaping predators. It gave them the advantage. Trilobites are some of the most successful creatures in the Earth's oceans, existing in oceans for almost 300 million years, and the last extant trilobites finally disappeared in the mass extinction at the end of the Permian around 252 million years ago. Trilobites are close relatives of the living horseshoe crabs. Horseshoe crabs, although the name, are not actually crabs, but like true crabs they are arthropods. They are the most primitive living example of the arachnid group that includes living spiders, mites and scorpions. Actually, scorpions are probably the closest living relative of the horseshoe crab. This proves just how successful evolution can be when producing creatures that used to live 300 million years ago and relatives are still around today. Now moving on to a creature that is widely regarded as one of, if not the largest orthocone cephalopods to ever exist, the Camarosaurus. Now, the Camarosaurus was a cephalopod, a type of mollusk that includes the octopuses, squids and cuttlefish that we know today, and because of this we can infer a few things about the living animal. The head of the animal would have been a soft muscular tissue situated at the opening of a hard cone-like shell, with the main body lying within the shell for protection. Tentacles would have grown from the base of the head like in modern cuttlefish, and these tentacles would have been used to seize and manipulate prey as the Camarosaurus prepared to feed. At the base of these tentacles, a hard keratinous beak would have bitten into the bodies of its prey, and it would have been so strong that it could crunch straight through the hard shells of other orthocones, and even the hard, supposedly armoured skeletons of eurypterids, which we will come to later. Within the beaks of modern cephalopods, a toothed tongue is used to rasp out soft tissue from within the prey shells, though it is not known for certain if Camarosaurus had this feature. In addition to eurypterids and other Ordovician cephalopods, Camarosaurus may have also hunted early jawless fish. So this is Arandaspis. Now Arandaspis is an extinct species of jawless fish that lived during the Ordovician period. Arandaspis was around 15 centimeters or 6 inches long, with a very streamlined body covered in rows of knobbly armoured scutes. The front of the body and head were protected by hard plates with openings just for the eyes, nostrils and gills. Based on this, Arandaspis was probably a filter feeder. It had no fins. The only method of propulsion was to use its horizontally flattened tail. As a result, it would swim in the way that tadpoles do. Much like Hycorichthes from my previous video, this fish was only able to propel itself using the muscles at the end of its tail. There are also many other species of these jawless fish, such as Astraspis and Sacambambaspis. These jawless fish paved the way for every single fish we know that live in our oceans today. However, these jawless fish did not have it easy. They had to face predators. Predators like this, Megalograptus. Megalograptus was a large eurypterid, also known as a sea scorpion. Like all eurypterids, Megalograptus had what is known as a telson, the final segment of the tail that is analogous to the sting, as we can see on modern land scorpions. However, in Megalograptus this is not expected to have formed a venomous sting, and instead Megalograptus probably just ripped apart prey apart as it ate. Eurypterids were the dominant species at the time, and most paleontologists thought that the only life on Earth was in the ocean. Although no fossils of land animals are known from the Ordovician, burrows and trackways from the late Ordovician have been interpreted as produced by animals similar to millipedes. Many paleontologists speculate that these creatures may have been similar to millipedes we know today, or other creatures such as the velvet worm. We can infer from this that Ordovician ecosystems may be more complex than we first thought, and scientists may need to rethink their theories, because it would have been possible for primitive arthropods to venture onto land as they were an increase in plants, as we spoke about earlier. And that is it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I would also appreciate it if you hit that like button and subscribe, and also put in the comments down below what you would like to see on my channel in the future, what sort of eras, what sort of animals you want to see, and hopefully we can get down to that. That's been it from me on the Paleo Genius channel. Thank you for watching, and again, have a great day.